Hi, I'm Dan, and if you're new to homebrewing, so am I. Welcome to my adventures in homebrewing. Hey everybody, it's Dan. It's that time once more to go around the world one more time and have a beer or two along the way. Thank you so much for coming out this week. First, let me say thank you to Tyler and Lori from the Brewed Up podcast for being on the show last week. Lots of great information from them. Very cool ladies. If you ever get a chance, go check them out on Spotify. I believe they're on Apple. And also go check out their Patreon page. I put all their details and their social media stuff in the description of the episode. So check it out. If you go check them out, tell them I said to go say hi, and we'll go from there. So this week, we are going to be talking about something that's going on with my online homebrew club called the BrewTubers, because one of our sponsors has asked us to do a hop experiment. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
The BrewTubers online store has everything you need for your brewing apparel and gift idea needs, with a growing selection of colors and sizes for hoodies, t-shirts, and caps. Stickers and magnets? Got 'em. Can holders and coffee mugs? We've got those too. Be the boss of your neighborhood and the envy of brewers everywhere when you flash that beautiful BrewTubers logo at your next local brewing competition. Want everyone to know you're a part of the Brew World Order? Strike a Superman pose with that BWO logo on your chest and make them all take notice. And if you haven't already, get over to our website at www.brewtubers.com and become a member. Then, just mosey yourself over to that BrewTuber store tab, click on it, and open the door to show the world you are a proud BrewTuber. Brew, record, post, repeat.
We are back, and this week you're stuck with me. You know, it could be worse. You could not have an episode this week, but I like doing these things. So this week we are going to be talking about an experiment that we're doing that I'm doing with, I should say, with my local homebrew club. Actually, it's online, so we're all across North America, called the BrewTubers. And one of our sponsors for the club is Yakima Valley Hops. So this year we're going to be doing an experiment with a couple of new products that they've just come out with over the last year or so. And the one that I am going to be using is called Lupomax. So it's very similar to cryo hops, but everything is different. So it's hard to really draw a comparison to the two. Yes, they are still in the same category where they extract the lupulin from the hops. They make a concentrated T90 pellet or a concentrated pellet and go from there. So what we're going to be doing is that there's going to be 6 of us. And we have a bunch of different products that we're going to be using from them, or actually 3 different products. We have Lupomax in versions of Citra and Mosaic. We have Incognito, which is in Citra and Mosaic, which is like a hop extract. And then we also have the straight up good old faithful T90 pellets for both Citra and Mosaic. So the one I am going to be using is going to be the Lupomax Mosaic. And we all have the same recipe, which is a really nice blonde. And I'll include the link to my brewer's friend recipe for it, if those of you are interested in giving it a try. All I ask is that if you're going to do it, be mindful is that mine is geared towards using Lupomax T90 pellets. And they're all extremely concentrated, so you have to be gentle when using these pellets. So a little bit about Lupomax. Forgive me, I'm going to be looking down and reading at the same time. So Lupomax is a new concentrated pellet that is consistent, efficient, and optimized for hop flavor. Lupomax has less vegetative matter compared to regular hop pellets, so you get hop flavors that are bigger, bolder, and brighter. Less vegetative matter means less beer loss, less solid waste, and more beer to enjoy. Lupomax is a variety of hopped is a variety and crop year specific and made with premium lots that are selected to deliver consistent, true to type flavor year over year. So what they're getting at is that this is a hop where they actually focus a lot on where you get the most bang for your buck. So what I mean by that is that when you look at a T90 pellet or any pellet, you have a lot of vegetative matter in there. So when they make it, basically all they're doing is they're grinding up the actual hop itself and then compressing it all into this pellet. So now what they're going to be doing is that they're going to be making sure that they're using less of that hop plant material, and you're getting more of the lupulin in there, or more of the actual alpha acid and everything else that is fantastic for making beer in these pellets. So Lupomax consistent lupulin concentration for optimized hop flavor, consistent lupulin concentration for optimized flavor, sensory plus process delivers consistent and true to type hop flavor, lupulin standards for reliable brewing performance, reduces beer loss, more equals more beer. When replacing T90 pellets with Lupomax, use 50 to 70% of the hops called for in your recipe. Why are you going to do that? Well, you're going to do that mainly because if you use the full amount, you're going to blow your mind out from bitter. And we don't want that. So that's why I'm saying you need to be gentle when using these. So if something says it calls for, say, an ounce, you're probably going to be using either half or 70% of that. And you're not going to just use it in the normal fashion. Um, what I've been reading about with these hops is that the best way to use them is one of two ways. One, it is as a late addition during the whirlpool process or as a dry hop method. They get the best bang for your buck. So what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be putting them into the actual whirlpool because we're the whole club that are involved, or the club members that are involved in this process or this project are going to be doing a blonde ale. So, which is really, really cool. So, we all get the same beer to make, and then we get to try different variations of it. Um, now, here, I'm going to read how you're supposed to use it. Lupomax pellets are a product that can be used in the same way as other pellet types, so you will not require any special dosing equipment or techniques. That's good for me because I am a soldier and all I know how to do is make things go boom or break them. Good to know. You can then hop the way you always have, but in a bolder, more reliable way. So basically, what they're saying is with less, you get more out of the hops, just due to the fact of the process. For the best flavor impact, we recommend introducing Lupomax as part of your typical late or dry hopping application. So what they're saying in that is kind of like what I said already. Put it in during the whirlpool process. That way, if you're not aiming for a hazy, you're going to get it. In it goes. Bob's your uncle, and we're going to go from that. So, a little bit more on that is sustainability is important to the people at Yakima Valley, just like it is to us. Lupomax use less hops and to make more beer. So basically, I think that means is that they want you to maybe possibly save a little money if you're looking at using a product like this. Um, I can see it actually being beneficial to a home brewer to actually being able to um, use a product like Lupomax to actually save a little bit of money and also get a lot more yield um, and higher beer volume. The idea of there being less vegetative matter in your beer when you're actually, say, if you're dry hopping, uh, goes to me, it goes a long way. The- uh, if you brew and you transfer into a fermenter, normally you get maybe 5.5 gallons. as a home brewer, if that's what you're brewing. When you dry hop, the dry hop, the hops, when you introduce the pellets, actually absorb a lot more of that war or beer that's in there that's fermenting away inside that fermenter. And you get a lot more of that true or sediment or vegetative matter in the bottom of the cone of your fermenter or your carboy or whatever it is that you use. I like the idea of the fact that there's less matter to have to worry about, and I get more out of the pellet. And I can see it being a game changer in the sense for even for like craft breweries if they're able to use a product where they're able to get more out of it and save some money along the way, why not? Why wouldn't you use a product like this? I think Lupomax possibly is very similar to what Yakima Chief does, but I will say this about Yakima Valley Vice Yakima Chief. They are extremely customer oriented, they're extremely helpful, and they answer emails pretty damn quick. So if you send them a question about any of their products, they get back to you pretty quick on how to use it. And a lot of this was developed by the Haas Corporation. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm having one of those days where I just get the yawns out of nowhere. Sorry, guys. So I believe Bert Haas created this, and it's to be honest, it's a game changer. I think it only came out in roughly around 2019, 2018, 2019. And the idea of getting these hops where you're extracting the actual lupulin gland from the actual vegetative matter, then you're actually putting it together inside of a hop pellet is going a long way. Now, it may be only useful to some. Some people might not even want to try it. Some people may try it and not like the result. To each their own. But I will say this as a home brewer, anything that's going to be able to save me a little bit of money and give me more beer, it's a plus in my book. Um, being able to actually do this and put it out there is a good thing. Now, they are a little bit more reliable than your normal pellets. Why do I say that? Well, they are pretty much condensed together. They're the same amount of alpha acids and beta acids throughout. You're going to have a consistent amount of each, and they're going to be a little bit more reliable from what I've been reading. What they're saying is reliable brewing performance, experimentation is fun, but reliability matters. Absolutely. Why waste time reworking a perfect recipe just because of an inconstant product? Good point. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to keep using a product where you use it and it doesn't work 99 or 100% of the time? That's why they've developed Lupomax designed with the targeted specifications so you can have reliable brewing performance every time. I'm sorry for yawning, guys. To me, that makes a lot of sense. So, what do you think? What do you guys think about the idea of a hop that is less vegetative matter, higher alpha acid? You only need to use a fraction of what an actual recipe calls for, vice having to have possibly an inconsistent product, use the actual amount, if not a little bit more, if you're finding you're not necessarily getting the flavor you want out of it. And I don't know. To me, it makes sense Now, I know a lot of the guys inside of my homebrew club are going to be saying, well, yeah, these are great products, but they're expensive. Okay. It may be expensive in the moment, but along the line, you may find out or figure out that it's better in the long run to use this product if you're going to have to use less of it. That way you can extend life, not necessarily extend the life, but you can extend how much you have for other projects or other brews. To me, that makes sense. Now, I know a lot of people may be saying, well, cryo hops, Lupomax, exact same thing. You're probably right. I'm not a scientist. I'm a home brewer, but I do know what works well and what I like to use and what I have found works well for me. So I am going to be using this and then seeing how it goes from there. Now, that's one part of the show. The other part of the show is something that Yakima Valley is doing for to raise awareness for mental health, called Hi, How Are You? And this is a subject that's very close to my heart because I am a Canadian Forces member who's been medically released due to PTSD. And anything that can help raise awareness to help people realize that they're not alone in the world when they're dealing with mental health is a really good thing. Now, what the project is that you brew a beer, you let them know that you want to be making this beer. They ask you to download their media kit. You download the actual label that you're going to use to put on the beer and put it out there and go from there. Uh, to me, this is a great idea and it needs to be more awareness brought to this. I don't know of any other maybe company or yeah, a company or any other organization out there than in corporate world that are doing this. And my hat goes off to the people at Yakima Valley because I think this is a great step forward and it's a great effort to be done. So I'm going to be putting not only the links to Yakima Valley for this project, but also to what the Lupomax Incognito is. So you guys can go and check it out and see what it's all about. The next thing that I will be doing is I'll probably, maybe this weekend, I'm going to be doing a live brew day. So hopefully my internet can work. If not, what it's going to work out to be is me doing a recording and putting the video up and doing a review of how or what I think of these hops. Right now, from reading what I've seen, these hops are going to be freaking amazing, and I can use them in another beer. I've never really used mosaic hops before. I've had beers within it, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed them. But it's hard to say how a product's going to react when you haven't used it before. So you got to stay tuned and I'll let you know how it goes. And I'll put updates on the Facebook page and also on the Instagram page and everything else. So I'd be curious to know what you guys think of a product like this. Have you used Lupomax before? Have you used cryo hops before? Let me know. I'd be very interested to know what you folks think about it, and we'll go from there. Again, as always, guys, thanks a lot for coming along for the ride. I know this is a short one this week. I do have some other people coming on the show and later on down the line. I could ramble. There's no point in rambling if I don't have to. I'm Dan. You're you. Thanks for coming along for the ride and a beer or two along the way, and I'll see you on the other side.